His boots have hit the ground, but his heart carries weight. He smiles for the world while we silently wait. Every "I'm alright" just disguises a state of battles inside that he struggles to state. Orders from life, every bird in a crate. Bills on the table, the pressure won't abate. Fatherless wounds and mistakes we still hate. Trying to heal while pretending we're great. Some of us run when the memories call, chasing distractions to soften the fall, hiding in crowds but still feeling small, learning the hard way you can't outrun at all. Some run to money, convinced it's the key. Some run to pleasure, searching to be free. Some run through bottles and call it relief, only to wake up with the same old grief. March after march, mile after mile, wearing a mask and rehearsing a smile, telling ourselves it'll be all worthwhile, yet carrying burdens in military file. Stand to attention, maintain your pace. Tears in the dark never touching your face. Looking for purpose, a mission, a place. Praying for mercy, amazing grace. Now some lost their brothers, some buried their dreams. Some hear the echoes of desperate screams. Some wear the medals, but tear at the seams, 'cause nothing is never as true as it seems. The battlefield shifts from the dirt to the mind. Ghosts from the past always somehow behind. Years keep on moving, but wounds stay aligned. Waiting for healing we struggle to find. Then comes the commander, his voice through the rain. Soldier, keep moving, your scars are not vain. What tries to destroy you will strengthen your frame. And one day your story will carry my name. The thunder gets louder, the sky starts to break. Every regret and every mistake, every betrayal, every heartache, brought to the altar for heaven to take. Now the retreat has officially ceased. Fear lost its power, its grip has released. Chains hit the ground and the warfare decreased. The boy became a man and the captive found peace. So we lock and we load, every fear in the sight. Darkness ahead, but we're trained for the fight. No longer running, we're holding the line. The mission is clear and this moment is mine. Finger on purpose, target in sight. The weight, the shame, the fear, the pain. 3, 2, 1, fire.
Man down. Medic. We got a 138 in progress. Medic. Man down. Bravo. Help is on the way, bravo. This is Mayday. Help is on the way.
number 10. Is it for me? Look at that. There's a man down. Now, you just witnessed what many men go through. They are out in the world to protect us, and many a times we are told and we are given these responsibilities as men. You are the protector, you are the provider, you are the one to do this and that. And an average man who's doing his best to ensure that his family is on point experiences things that sometimes the world outside doesn't recognize. Emotional traumas, pains that you may never, as a woman, as a child, as a wife, even as a son, you may not be aware what is father going through. What is my father going through? Right on this altar here or on this stage are men that are wounded. Men that are going through the most. And we have heard through researches and all of that, that men don't express emotions, men don't talk. It is something that we all would get. The lesser asked for help from the greater. But when the greater is going through the most, should they stoop down to the lesser and ask for help? When I have been programmed to think that I am the head, when I have been programmed to think that I am the leader, the day the leader is down, will the leader go to the knees? Will the leader, who is the head, go to the feet? No, it is in the head that we have the eyes, vision. The knees and the waist and the chest, they don't have a vision. The arms don't have a vision, sight. It is in the head we have the nose, the ability to detect and to smell whatever is happening around, whether it is danger, opportunities. It is in the head we have the ears. We listen. We hear what is happening. We watch the news. We hear the research. We hear the cries of our wives and of our children, our daughters, and of our sons. But when the head is cut off, when the head is down, can the head ask for help from the fingers and say, "Oh, fingers, can you see ahead for me?" Can the head ask from the thigh and say, "Oh, thigh, are you hearing the noise of danger, the noise of the rain?" When the head is down, by the programming that we know, the head is out. That's it. Everything is out of the way. Now, here is what is interesting from the scriptures. The Bible shows us and indicates how God, or rather life and by definition identity, God is referred to as a he. God is referred to as a he. The very same title that is given to a man. God is referred to as a father. The very same title that is given to a man who gives birth to a child. We were taught some time back on Mother's Day about a woman being called Ezra in the Bible, which is help meet, and that is the identity of the Holy Spirit. But a man is identified with God, with the Father. A man is identified as the head, the originator of everything. What happens when men are down? There is chaos in the community. Many a times we are trying to solve problems from the branches and not from the roots. We are trying to come up with programs of, we need a women empowerment platforms, marriage platforms, we need this and that, economic platforms, making people to want to discover their purposes. As good as all of those things are, they don't solve the problem from the roots. They don't solve the problem from the roots. Only a man is identified with the same identity that God has. He is a he. Only a man receives an identity that only God has. He is a father. And so when men lose their godness, allow me to use that word. When men lose their godness, we have what we call men who are down. There is chaos in the community. There is loss of identity among the people. Sexual orientation is not understood anymore. Young boys are acting like girls because there was no father to be the source of identity. You are my boy, you are my girl. This is who you are. Every form of violence in the community is a sign that those who are supposed to protect the community are already down. There is no security. Women rise up to want to participate economically, not with a good motive of they are talented, but because there is no one else to stand up for them. Most of the social ills, if we were to check, they can be referenced to an absent father or a man that did not rise up to the occasion. No matter the number of women programs we are going to have, we are trying to produce fruits out of a tree and we have not handled the roots. When God created mankind, or human beings, he started with a man. We are not going to have our society becoming better because our children are educated, because our children went to purpose discovery workshops, because our children went to college. No, everything boils down to one thing. Where are the men? Where are the fathers? After God comes men in creation. It was later on he said, I will give him a help meet. A woman who is in the presence of a man who is not present. That woman can try by all means. But like the King Solomon would say, it will be vanity upon vanity. Efforts that are put in place, but they are not producing the right results because the order of God cannot be rearranged by the programs of men. As long as men are down, there will be violence in the community. When we talk about gender-based violence, we all would attest to this. Largely, it is from men to women. It is from men to children. When we talk about armed robbery and crimes, largely it is from men. They are the ones that are the perpetrators of all these negative things. How many times do we hear of a single parent home and it is referred to as a single father? It is always a single mother who has to take care of the children. And this man thinks that if he gives the money that the government or the courts has indicated as maintenance money, he thinks that is enough, giving out some 500 pula per month. Because the court said that is the maintenance amount. And it is that woman who remains with the children. No, not because the man is not just there. They don't understand you are more than the money you give. But we have been told men are providers. So when I've given the money, I am enough. What about when the child is not feeling well in the midnight hour, vomiting and having all sorts of seizures? What seizures? What is happening? Where is this father? Oh yeah, he gave the money. So we are okay. We have the food. We are okay. What about the child that gets into puberty and they don't understand what is happening to me? A young boy who is wondering why his voice is changing, and all they have is mama in the house. Most corruption is done by men. Prisons are full of men more than the female prisons are full of females. No matter the political programs you will have, as long as men are not in place, I dare say this to you, the battle is far from being over. The order of God of creation should never be tampered with when it concerns the way we solve our problems. When men are down, there is no vision. When men are down, there is no security. There is no protection. Identity is lost. When men are down, there will be chaos in the community. When men are down, all efforts will produce nothing. What will be heartbreaking is that you are investing the most but not getting what you thought you will get out of what you invested in. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. We need men who are in touch with God more than we need men who are trying to be men. You cannot be a man when you have lost the connection to the one that birthed you, the one that demonstrated all throughout his existence what it means to be a he. Hear this. Men will come and talk about all their challenges. You don't know what it means to be a man. It is difficult to be a man. We have to provide. Some women have broken our hearts. We are betrayed. We have the traumas. Don't you think God understands all of that? No, sir. God went through the most horrible betrayal of all times. When his minister of culture by the name of Lucifer went against God and betrayed God, took a third of all of God's army people, or angels, if you like. How should God have felt at that point? He's a he. How should he have felt? He made mankind, and the same man that he poured himself into. From Genesis 1:26, I will make man in my own image, after my likeness. He didn't make a giraffe after his image. He didn't make a hippopotamus after his image. He didn't make a lion after his image. He made man, the same man that he gave him only one instruction, just one. You shall not eat of the tree, the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. That man went against that instruction. How should God have felt? How many traumas does God have? How many traumas of betrayed expectations does the Father in heaven have? The reason why heaven has always been heaven is because God, in the midst of everything he went through, he never lost his godness. He is a he. He is a father. It is the godness of God, or of the Father, that has made him to not be bitter. He had every chance to be bitter. He had every chance to have negative emotional displays. Anger, God experienced it. One time he said to Moses, because these people are rebellious, I have been taking care of them. I delivered them from their bondage. I'm going to kill them. Moses told him, How can you do such an evil thing? The Bible says it repented God. So God had to change his mind. He also wanted to do bad. God wanted to beat his wife, if we were to call it. God wanted to discard his children, if we were to put it in that context. God wanted to do something that was not his original intent. He wanted to walk away and divorce. This is a nation that is his, Israel. But because of their continuous rebellion, he was fed up. I am done with them. I will eliminate them. I will use my power to eliminate them. You can use your power to eliminate your wife. You can use your power to hurt your children. You can use your power to hurt those that are around you. God had the opportunity as well to do so, but he never lost his godness. That's why heaven is still intact and better than the earth. Because the Father in heaven never lost his godness. He never spoiled his children. Even when Jesus came and said, can this cup pass me by? He didn't say, oh, my boy is going through the most, let me come to his aid. No, the Father trained. The Father kept at it. The Father allowed his children to go through what they ought to go through. At one point, my God, why have you forsaken me? He is no longer called my Father, my Father. There are moments that your children won't like you. You are not a father to be liked by your children. You are not a father for your children to always feel like you will come to their aid, even in the things that they can do for themselves. So, brothers, God also had a chance to be emotionally absent. God has traumas. After you go through Adam, now comes Noah. Noah comes on the scene. This is a man that found favor in the eyes of God. But what happens to Noah? He becomes a drunkard, disappoints God. Then comes Abraham. Abraham is such a liar, but God is the God of truth. There is no lie in him. Everyone God ever called disappointed him. So God could also sit back and say, I have traumas. I don't have to believe in another man again because they keep disappointing me. I don't have to take care of them again because all that I availed for them, they have used it against me. As long as men have lost their godness, they cannot play their roles correctly. They cannot carry out their fatherhood assignments correctly. So wherever you are going as a young lady, as a wife, our greatest assignment is to ensure that the men have their God connection. Maybe you are here as a man, all your efforts don't seem to be yielding results. Listen, it is vanity upon vanity to try to do that which only God can do, and you are removing God out of the equation. If you call yourself a believer, you should not be a religious believer. As a husband and as a father, you should be an active believer who is in a relationship with the God that you are identified as. The only image of a he that is a perfect image is God. The only image of a father that is a perfect image of a father is with God. So we don't need men conferences that will only teach us how to make money, that will only teach us how to take care of ourselves, that will only teach us how to be good in bed with our wives. We don't need men conferences that are going to teach us how to open up and talk, be in touch with your emotions. No, be in touch with your God. Be in touch with your God as a father. There was no murder until a man left his place. Cain killed Abel not because Cain wanted to. The introduction of godlessness is what led the sons to misbehave. The introduction of godlessness is what made the children of, what's his name? The guy that Abraham, the nephew of Abraham, Lot. Yeah, those ones. No, of Moab. That the daughters slept with their father. To now give birth because they said, which man is going to find us? How do people think such thoughts? As long as God is nowhere near us, our conscience dies. And when it dies, one doesn't mind sexual assault. One doesn't mind murder. One doesn't mind corruption. If you are a mother with a boy child, your assignment is to ensure that boy knows God. That boy knows God. If you are a man, your relationship with God should never be questionable. Now, I will bring us to a scripture and then I close. In Genesis 32, from verse 22, the Bible says something important. We'll read from verse 22 all the way to verse 31. Genesis 32 from verse 22 all the way to 31. The Bible says, and Jacob rose up that night. He took his 2 wives and his 2 servants and his 11 sons. After he took all of them, he passed over the ford Jabbok. Verse 23. And he took them and sent them over the brook. Sent them and sent over all that he had. This is Jacob. Verse 24. And Jacob was left alone. A background story of this. Jacob is running from his brother, Esau, because he stole his birthright. And his brother was angry at him and wanted to kill him. Talk about family feud. His brother was after him and wanted to kill him. So Jacob kept on running and he realized that I am putting my wife and my children through the battles that are not theirs. So one time, what we just read, he took them over and said, cross over that side. I like this first portion of verse 24. And Jacob, help me with this. You can't help me. You are not media, please. And Jacob was left alone. Come help me with this. Tell your neighbor, Jacob was left alone. Is it fastened? Tell the other neighbor, Jacob was left alone. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, there comes a point where you need to stop numbing yourself from the issues of life. You need to stop numbing yourself with unnecessary sex. You need to stop numbing yourself with unnecessary workload of making more money, and we justify it with, I'm doing this for the family. I am building a legacy for my family. When you know that you are covering a lot of issues, you need to stop numbing yourself and shouting at your wife and shouting at your children in the name of, I want this boy to get it. You need to get in touch with whatever it is that wounded you. You need to get in touch with whatever it is that wounded you and deal with your wounds outside of everyone. And Jacob was left alone. Look at this. Jacob spent all his life. By the time he had an issue with his brother, he was not married. He didn't have children. Jacob ended up getting married to 2 women, having 11 children. Calculate how many years Jacob was in hiding, pretending that things were okay, and yet they were not. Until one day he said, let me remain alone and face my own demons. Let me remain alone and face my own upbringing. Let me remain alone and face my own fears in life. What am I afraid of? What is it that I don't want to talk about? What have I swept under the carpet and I never want to revisit it? Jacob was left alone. And when he was left alone, that's when his help came through. And the Bible says, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. Take note of that. The moment he remained alone, remember, he's been running from his brother. So him remaining alone, he thought, when I am alone, I will face my brother man to man. Little did he know that he has been delaying his healing by numbing himself with unnecessary things, substance abuse, making more money when you know that you are not whole, pursuing your career and your business interests and your investments when you know you are not really complete, pursuing soccer. I support Red Devils. Right now, you are not sleeping, watching a game at 3 a.m. The very man who will say to his wife, I'm tired. When the boys call, let's go for 5-a-side, he runs up. He can get up. So Jacob was left alone. Instead of Esau wrestling with him, hear this. There wrestled a man with him. So some of you ladies were wondering why all or most of our activations we didn't have you by. One of my daughters commented on social media. She said, it seems like you are more happier when we are not around. I said, Father, this woman is talking a lot. Let her go back to give birth. And then she went and gave birth. Mr. Pater and Mrs. Pater, God bless, with a little baby boy the other day. She said, why you people are happy when we are not around? Because the demons of Jacob were not sorted by marrying more women. They were not sorted by him having more children. They were not sorted by him accumulating more wealth. My brother, all these things you will get them done. And when it's all said and done, you will realize that you are not yet healed. You are still undone. With all the money, with all the cars, with all the properties, with all the connections, maybe even occupying the highest office in the land, and yet you realize, I'm not done. So Jacob took out his wife. Jacob took out his children, took out his servants, and remained alone. It was a man who wrestled with him. Brothers, we've got to wrestle with each other. I've said this before. A man can know another man that is at the gym with him and never know his name. It's always Rasta wa iteba lager. It's always Brazil. Big man. Shobrayak. A man can be with you at the gym and commit suicide in the evening. And yet he was with you at a soccer pitch. But this man that came to Jacob, he did not come to cover up again. This man came and wrestled with Jacob. One of the things that most men don't like doing. I will not go for counseling and tell somebody our problems. You need to find yourself in a wrestling ring. So ladies, you took our concept. We were really going to wrestle. We had to go and rethink our concept. We were really going to wrestle and have our WWE. This man wrestled with Jacob until the breaking of the day. That is, he didn't come to wrestle with him for fun. He wrestled with him in the night hours of Jacob's life. Ooh. That is, he went into the dark areas of Jacob's life. The things that Jacob does not want anybody to know. I read a story the other day on Facebook. This young man says he spoke to his mentor and asked him, Have you ever cheated on your wife? He said the mentor kept quiet a little bit. And then he started talking. And he said, I nearly did. How did it happen? So the mentor was replying. He said, it's not that I like the woman I nearly cheated on my wife with. It was a work colleague who asked me about, I don't remember the real story correctly, but I'll add some things here. Who asked me about a certain file, and I helped her to find the file. Next time she asked me about something, and I assisted. It started with work-related assistance. And one day, she appreciated me and said, thank you for always helping me. He said, I felt good that my help was appreciated. And then the following time, when they were conversing, the lady said, you always come to my aid. You always listen to me. Whenever I call, you pick up. This woman probably wasn't flirting, but all those things made him to feel good. He felt good that as a man, he is recognized. How many men are in dark spots because of things that started innocently and ended terribly? Not all the men may be like this man. This man said, when I realized that, I like the feeling of how this woman appreciates me. He now put some boundaries to not have personal conversations with the woman. I'll tell you what I thought about it. When I read that story and I got to that last end, that he put boundaries to not have personal conversations with the woman, I said to myself, he's lying. While I was reading on Facebook, I said, he's lying. Most mentors won't tell you that they cheated on their wives. He wants to remain as a good man. Maybe he's not lying. Maybe he's telling the truth. But the idea is, how many dark things do you have that no one is aware of? How much money have you borrowed from somebody that you are paying back and your wife is not aware, but you had promised the family that you will take them on a vacation? How many men are in secret deals wanting to make provision for their families? Or how many men you have done the thing that you never thought you could do? You laid your hands on your wife. You told her, baby, I am sorry. I don't know what came over me. I am sorry. And you are disappointed with yourself. The man that wrestled with Jacob, he did not come during the day. He came in the night hours of Jacob's life. He came in the dark moments of Jacob's life. The very things that he has hidden. You look right now. Come over here, Matlar. Come over here, Kiss. You look at all these men. Come, Pastor Mod. You look at all these men. They look strong. Come over here. Come over here, O'Neill. All these men. Military men. Strong men. Come this side. Military men. Look at them. This is the boss. Drug Enforcement Agency. Men with badges. Morena. The man that everybody salutes. A strong man. A combat soldier. Behind these gears are wounds. Behind these military attires of people that are respected are things that they never told another. A man can go to the doctor and the doctor says, sir, we suspect there is a little bit of cancer in such and such area of your body. Doc, can we do something about it? Oh yeah, we can. Probably a little surgery. We can get into that liver and cut the area that has the cancerous cells. That man will go for surgery and not tell his wife. By the time most men come and say, baby, just know, they are now at the stage that they can't hide it anymore. By the time a man comes and says, I'm going for surgery, it's because he knows he's going to need to be nursed for 6 months. The wife will ask, where did you go? He can't just go, get surgery and go to the village. Now that he can't hide, this man is on medication. He's not telling nobody. This man keeps going to the clinic to get an injection. He's not telling nobody. Behind all this gear that people are looking at and saying, we are protected. Our soldiers are here. My man is here. My man always takes care. You don't know what your man had to deal with to take care. So if we had to strip them, we can strip you until you are naked. If we had to strip them, there are scars. There are dark secrets. Some men are struggling in their sex life. They wish they could do better. When you are having an erectile dysfunction, what are we going to do? Men thrive on performance. And when I say performance, I don't mean in bed. I mean in life. Men perform. Men are stars. Men are heroes. They are told that they are providers. When I've lost my job and I can't give my wife what I'm supposed to give her, do you think that's an easy thing? Sir, or ma'am, not sir. Even if you make all the money and you bring it and you say, baby, everything I make is ours. Remember, you are mine, I am yours. It's never the same. It's in your mind, you are thinking, what is mine is yours. I bring to the table, it's all ours. In fact, you take all the cards so that you control. He still knows he's not the one who made the money. It still affects homo jale or 2 seconds somewhere. We appreciate your good gestures, ma'am. But it's never the same. You can tell some of these my sons and say, I don't want your money. I want you. We can just get married and build. If I don't have a stream of income, I don't want to put a woman through that. And so women will complain, I'm not after his money. Even if he doesn't have money, it doesn't mean anything to me. He's a man who loves me. He's a man who is there. He is loyal. That's a woman talk. That's a woman talk. And we appreciate. Haven't you seen how your husband steps when he has paid the bill? No, men should get over themselves. You've never been a man. You've never been a man. You can never get it. We can't get over it. Getting over it means that we should shoot some estrogen into us and remove our testosterone. Wherever the testosterone is high, we want to perform. Hey, I nearly said men on top. But we want to perform. We want to lead. We want to lead. We want to be the ones that are wiser. We want to be the ones that contribute the most. And please don't misunderstand me. It doesn't mean that a man has to make more money than the wife. I'm just saying there is a part, an element that eats up a man. That behind this masculine self, there are wounds, there are scars. The dark side of this man's life. Thank you, gentlemen. So he came in the night hours of Jacob's life and wrestled with Jacob. My brother, you have to wrestle with your issues until the light breaks out. The breaking of day in this scripture, as much as it was the breaking of day literal, but it means that until the solutions came. Wrestle with your insecurities. Wrestle with your fears. Until you are the right father to your children. Until you are the right husband to your wife. Until you are the right leader to your community. Look at the next verse. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, when Jacob, or rather when the man that was wrestling Jacob saw that he prevailed not against Jacob, he touched the hollow of his thigh. I like Jacob's move right here. Jacob held on to this man. He said, you are not going, my brother, because I need help. I'm not going to let you go in the next scriptures until you bless me. I won't let you go until you bless me. That's what Jacob said. He said, I will not let you go except you bless me. My brother, one of the proofs that you are in the path of being a great father, after you have sorted your God connection, is your ability to wrestle with God, your ability to invoke the blessing. Hear this. The first thing God said to man after he made him, and God blessed him and said, be fruitful. Jacob said, I have been wounded. Please, if you don't bless me, I can never be the right husband. If you don't bless me, I can never be the right father. If you don't bless me, I cannot be the right leader. The blessing is the empowerment to excel, the empowerment to succeed. Hear this. Whew. I'm getting some things here. I hope I won't take long on this. Jacob was blessed by his earthly father. Remember, Isaac blessed Jacob. Jacob was blessed as far as his earthly father was concerned. But Jacob needed the blessing from the ultimate father. There are some of you, your pastor can bless you. But more than your pastor, you need that endorsement from Jehovah God, where you will know God has released his goodness upon me. I will not let you go until you bless me. Look at the next verse. And he said unto him, what is your name? And he replied, my name is Jacob. Every man, when I ask, he asked him, what is your name? He said, my name is every brother. My name is every brother. My name is every brother. My name is. You need to understand what Jacob means. Jacob means a trickster. Jacob means an ex-con, a cheater. Jacob means an undone, a raw man, a man who is not in his identity. Now watch this. Why is Jacob having this moment? Because Jacob was called a liar from the day he was born. You know, some people say they want to give their children Bible names, and they call their children Jacob. It's in the Bible, but what does it mean? Jacob means a liar. Jacob means a trickster. A serial Jonas. Okay, a serial cheater. That's what Jacob means. And I like how Jacob replied this angel, the man that was sent from God. What is your name? He did not try to cover himself. I am the son of Abraham and Isaac. Because the moment I say Abraham and Isaac, those are the men that are endorsed by God. So I cover myself behind my surname. What is your name? My name is Mr. Ramorabi. What is your name? My name is Mr. Mosheshe. What is your name? My name is Mr. Lesetre. Because the Lesetre name is a surname of power. What is your name? I am so and so Boko, so that you can know my father is the president. My name is Jacob. My name is a liar. My name is a cheater. My name is an adulterer. My name is an indebted man. My name is a man that has gotten so many laws that are choking him. My name is a sex addict. My name is a substance abuser. My name is a GBV perpetrator. What is your name? Jacob said, my name is Jacob. The first principle they teach you when you go to Alcoholics Anonymous. Don't ask me if I've been there. When you go, no, I've not been there. The number one principle they say, admit you have a problem. admit you have a drinking problem. So Jacob admitted, I am a liar. Even though my biological father blessed me, and I am legally the owner of this wealth, but I am a liar. Jacob said, I am Jacob. Until you admit your wounds. We were talking last week, Saturday, with the men when we went to do paintballs and all of that. And Dr. G was helping us a lot. And he brought one issue that when some men go to the clinics, when they get there, probably they know what the issue is. When this man gets to the clinic, by the time he gets there, he finds that the person who is treating him is a little girl who just graduated from IHS. Or from the University of Botswana, Bachelor of Nursing, maybe just a nurse. Or the man finds that the doctor to treat him is a young lady. And the young lady comes in and say, hello, Mr. Johnson. How can I help you today? Yeah. Tota, negitile kwa nakagore, uitsike ngipalwa ke go hema malatsing nga. Ngipalwa ke go hema. Gona la go tsene I have shortness of breath. Shortness of breath. Shortness of breath. Oh, how long has it been? Nya. Who's mo sabi ke hitile hela but lekere kita ki check before it goes far. Lekere kita ki check. And yet prior to coming, this man knows that he has erectile dysfunction. But the moment he lays his eyes on the doctor that is female, probably younger, he now sends them to do test of the thing that is not the issue. So they now check on the chest. Okay, breathe in, breathe out. The doctor says, oh, doesn't seem like there's any issue. Kana wa breathe bolwetsa akere. Hela ha tsana mo spateleng, bolwetsa ba itsamaela. Wa breathe. Have you ever seen those kids that when you are at home, they look all sickly? Only to get to the hospital, they are playing like they are not the ones you brought there for. So when these men see the doctor and it's a female, they don't tell the truth about what has brought them. They know that the issue is that they have been seeing one little pimple in their private parts. But they will say, it's a, what is it again? The doctor will not check your private parts when you say it's your esophagus. So the man is not getting help. As long as you are in denial of your issues, Mr. Jacob, as long as you are in denial, even the people that are sent for your help can never help you. They can never help you. So Jacob opened himself and said, my name is Jacob. Mr. Single young man, you have to be in touch with yourself. Be honest. Why are you so much into sex? Why do you say you want women with a certain body size? Why that body size? Is it a preference or there is something inside you that you are trying to feel with the kind of girlfriend you have, with the kind of activities you are engaging in? Jacob said, I am Jacob. I am a liar, like they said I am. Another side of the story is this. Jacob labeled himself by the name that they gave to him. He didn't call himself Jacob. There are people who may have looked you and called you a liar. They said, hey, when you are handsome, you must be a womanizer. Somebody looked at you and said, if I was you, man, I can't talk all dark and handsome like you. If I was rich like you, the things I will do. So you labeled yourself by what the community or the society labeled you as. Oh, when they told you be a provider, who defined which provision? Now that you are putting yourself under the pressure of providing money, when they told you are a provider, did they define provision as money? Now, when you have provided the money, you feel like you are a true father. You are a true husband. You walk tall because you have bought a house for your family. You have bought a car for your wife. And when there is an issue, after all I've done for this family, I've jeopardized my health for this family because somebody told you that all you are doing for the family. And when you have done that, you are a real father. Jacob had amassed the wealth, but he had to go back to the roots of the issue. Somebody labeled me like this. Some of you, your children called you absent father. Some of you, your wives said certain statements saying, till today, mahukwateng ahoja. Mahukwateng ahoja. I did a counseling, and this gentleman came over. He wasn't interested in his wife in a sexual way. He would engage, but he wasn't so much interested. I said, what's the issue? He said, it's not like I'm not interested in my wife. She's my type. She's what I want in a woman. But the first time I engaged with my wife sexually, for whatever reason, it didn't go well. You see, should I say some things right here? I should. Okay. Hey, the way when you have been a Christian and you are told that sex before marriage is sin, and then you wait until marriage for 2-3 years, you are looking at this sexy thing that is called your girlfriend. You look at her nyash every time you meet. She's dressed the part, but you can't do anything about it. I think we need to talk about it. You look at her lips, well done. You want to kiss her, but for 2-3 years, it's a sin. For 2-3 years, you are going out on a date or at a wedding, at a function, and your girlfriend is looking the part. You look at her legs, smooth. What do you call this thing? The calves. On point. Maybe she's wearing something a little above the knees. She's walking in front of you. She's wearing a boob tube. We call it a boob tube. The one that is left out. That doesn't have straps, nothing. And you can see this part. You can see this part. The chest above the breast. You can see that. Maybe on that day, your wife that likes things as you would like her, she applied something glittering. Girl. 2-3 years. 2-3 years. 2-3 years of you watching and you are not doing anything because you are a believer. You are just watching these things. You are just watching. Ladies, I think probably for the first time you people are getting this thing because we may have not talked about it. In a normal setup, after seeing all these things all these years, do you know the thoughts? I know. It's a sin to look at a person lustfully. I know. But when I look at you walking out of the table at the dining, at the restaurant, you are walking to the bathroom. You say, babe, I need to go to the bathroom. And you walk out of the chair and you are walking there and I look at you and I can see you from behind. Look at that behind. And you rock your stiletto so good. You know how to walk it, and I have to watch and not judge. I have to watch and not indulge. Do you think after 2-3 years I'm normal? So, on the day, we are talking about that husband in counseling. On the day of the wedding, and they went, and they were to consummate the marriage. This man has been bottling things. Like Arsenal. Oh, they are no longer bottlers. This man has been bottling things, all the feelings, all the sexual pressures, the things he would do to this woman. He has been bottling. Hey, the way you are even leaning forward. You are like, come on, daddy. He had been bottling all these things. Sir, On that day, things didn't go well sexually. I won't tell you later. The wife was disappointed. In her disappointment, she said statements that even though this man fixed himself later, but they killed the marriage forever. Yeah. He just touched the wife and everything was everything. Now, with the background of what I just told you, this man is not wrong. Because for 2-3 years, I've been watching and praying. For 2-3 years, I've been desiring and never indulging. So, the moment he touched the woman, he already arrived at the top of the mountain. He already arrived. And then this woman, you see, women are not like us because women, I think the people that enjoys a courtship the most are women, especially a Christian courtship. I'll tell you why. Because courtship, a Christian courtship, is all about emotional attachments, talking, getting to know each other. Hey, brotherhood. You see, courtship is for women, it's not for us. You are looking at me like, Daddy, I wish I had known this things many years ago. One professor, go deeper, Papa. Courtship is not for men, it's for women. Women enjoy it because we bond emotionally. We bond mentally. An average man wants to sleep with you after we start the relationship. In fact, before you even say, I do, while you are still thinking about it, let me show you my talent. So that I can influence your decision making. Men down. Brotherhood. Brotherhood. So courtship is for women. Marriage is dual. Marriage is for men and for women. Women don't like loving from afar. They want to be close. And when you marry a woman, can I tell you the truth, ladies? We don't marry you to come and mother us. Our mothers are our mothers. They tell us, wash the dishes, take out your clothes, dirty. But after I marry you, I don't want those things now. I marry you, you are not my mother. I marry you for sex. I have not had this thing for the last 2-3 years of the relationship. I have not. Look up. If you think your man married you because, listen, your man has been eating without you. We can eat at restaurants. We can eat Modistratem. We can eat Kilimanjaro. We can eat anywhere. We can eat anywhere. Okay? But the one thing that a good man has kept himself for is sex in marriage. When you deny this man sex in marriage, you have denied them 99% of the thing that got them to marry. For some of you that dish out sex before marriage, you will get married after 10 years because he has no pressure to marry you faster. How we got here, I don't know, but we got here. Is somebody hearing? Now watch this. That man was disarmed by the first statement on the wedding night because of an unfortunate situation. Jacob said, I am Jacob. I am a wounded man. The moment he declared that, look at the next verse. Verse 28. We are rounding up. And the angel said, your name shall no more be called Jacob. You will not be called Jacob anymore, but you shall be called Israel. You shall be called For as a prince, you have power with God and with men, and you have prevailed. My brothers, you are not going to be a good father because your children tell you you are a good father. You are not a good father because your wife says you are a good husband. You are a good father because you have prevailed against God and against men. Is somebody hearing? Look at the next verse. Very important. And Jacob asked him, tell me, I pray you, what is your name? And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. He didn't tell him his name. He blessed him there. Verse 8. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Every man need these three things that I'll give to you later. Every man need these three things. When Adam lost himself in the garden and God came through, he never said, Eve, where are you? He never said, Adam and Eve, where are you? He said, Adam, where are you? When we get the Adam factor correct, we will find Eve. Wherever men have gone to, that's where women will go. If you go to a place of wealth, your woman will be resourceful in wealth creating manners. If you go to healthy emotional displays, your woman will express emotions in a healthy way. So if your woman is expressing emotions negatively, check where you are. When a man marries a woman, he takes a woman from her house. In fact, le ka Setswana go te go te re isa mosadi. Ga go iswe monna. Ha ba ka ba ba go isa, my brother. You are the wife. Risa mosadi. The woman takes the surname, the identity. So God comes and says, Adam, where are you? Do you understand that many of your behaviors in many occasions, are you asking a question of where your father is? Many of our behaviors are, what's the word here? They are a product of your relationship with your father. If you had absent father issues, you may be looking for your father in men. So your first relationship, you were 7 years old. If you had a father who didn't provide, you are looking for a man who can provide. This is why today an average woman wants a man who can provide. Let me tell you something. That may not come from a girl who has been well taken care of. I read a study the other day that more young women are dating elderly men than ever before. Now, if you are 25 years old as a young man, chances of you marrying a 25-year-old are very slim. Because these young ladies that are 25 are dating 40-year-olds. A 40-year-old man has gone through life and amassed some things. At 40, when I see a 25-year-old, I can take care of her. And that young girl wants to be taken care of. I am patient with her. Why? Because I've learned through life. So you find that a 25-year-old in our midst, his wife is still 10 years old. Because no young lady wants to marry a man who can provide. But if you come to a 25-year-old and say, buy me a house, we are still trying to find jobs together. The questions of our society are the questions that God asked. And he asked the question of, Adam, where are you? Jacob, where are you? When I say, where are you? I don't mean, where do you stay? So when I call you and I say, where are you? The first thing you can think of is, I'm in Pakalani. Where are you emotionally? When we were preparing for Father's Day, something happened that I could not understand, and it's against what I would normally do. I told you that I don't listen to secular songs. But there was a song every time I'm preparing the sermon for Father's Day. When I get on TikTok, it becomes the first video that I see. Every time I'm preparing, and I'm like, what? And one time it's like God woke me up about the song. It's a Lucky Dube song. I want them to play it for you. I wasn't going to play it. I want them to play it for you. And I want you to listen to it. Now, hear this before you get there. If what I read is true, Lucky Dube was the only son of his mother. The father of Lucky Dube left the mother when Lucky Dube, I think she was still pregnant with Lucky Dube. And Lucky Dube was born after several miscarriages. That's why the name Lucky. That I got lucky finally. And then Lucky Dube wrote a song. And I want them to play this song for you. Yeah. Listen to the message of it. Young men who are looking for their fathers everywhere. Every man that looks like them, they think it's my father. Wherever you are, remember me. You can dance if you want.
Mother died of a heart attack many years ago. When she heard that you were married again. Now I'm the only one left in this family. Daddy, wherever you are, remember me. In whatever you do, I love you. Daddy,
Now, there are men that are gone and thinking that I need another woman, I need another job, I need whatever, and their children are sitting all around here. Some of you are thinking, no, I grew up with my dad. But was your dad there emotionally? Was your dad there in wisdom matters? Did you have emotional intimacy with your father? You will be surprised that every man that you date, it's you looking for your father. The way you are behaving as a husband, as a father, you are trying to give your children that which your father never gave you. That's why every time your children, Daddy, can we go to the movies? Yes. Take my card, take my card. You are spoiling them because nobody spoiled you. You don't want to look like your father that was not there. One of the things I've had to experience in my pastoral years is the joy that comes out of the face of the people that are delighted to look at me and to call me Daddy. I think it was Minister Gisiti. Where is he? Yeah, I think it was Minister Gisiti. You'll forgive me for saying this, but he grew up with his dad. But he was providing, that's it. But no connection. In his words, when he came here and he was hearing people calling me Daddy, he said it was the most difficult thing ever for him. Because where we come from, he's from Serowe. Finish. Sometimes you don't even call him Tate because hey, it just finishes there. He's a man who is there. That we know I look like him. That's it. One of my sons cried tears. And I was not even aware. One time when we were talking on the phone, I sent him a message. I think he had told me something that he did, and I told him, I'm proud of you. And I said, I love you. Those words alone, reading them on the phone, He cried bitterly. Because I said, and there are men sitting here that no one has ever looked at you, come, and said, I am proud of you. You have Caleb. You have Joshua. You have Kalani. You have your wife. You are doing the most for them. You may have your father. He has never looked at you and said, I'm proud of you. You went to school. You passed. He never said, I'm proud of you. The only emotion he ever expressed was anger. The only emotion ever expressed is anger. He has never looked at you and said, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. He has not been to the soccer pitch with you, and when you scored and come back, he will tell you of the 100 chances you missed. That's why the team lost, even though you scored the most. Bishop Jake says he used to think that only boys need their fathers. And he said, but as I grew up and I lost my dad at a younger age, I think he was 11 or 12. He said, as I grew up and I was accomplishing some things, I realized that even grown men need their fathers. That I can leave my wife and our 4 children to go and sit with my father and I say, how did you feel when you turned 50? How did you feel when you were 35 and you didn't have a house in your name? Did you ever have any fears when I was getting into puberty, realizing that I'm growing? Have you ever had any fears that your daughters may be sexually abused and how it would mean to you, or your sons may be negatively affected by the ills and the social ills? See, an average man that is sitting here today is doing the most to be a true definition of a father. But deep within us, there are many fears. There are many fears. When the economy goes bad like it is, we are wondering. We are scared. What will I do if I was to lose my job? Will I be able to pay my children's school fees? When we were expecting Zoe and she got born, I've said this story before. I had a thought. Am I going to be able to take care of this child? What if one day we need the nappies, I'm not able to buy them? Will I be able to give my wife the life that she desires? Too many what ifs that are inside us that we don't talk about. And so some of the gentlemen have decided, I will just soldier on in life. Some of them, ladies, you will attest to this. When you are doing things in the house, your husband will be fine with all of you, probably you and your children buying your stuff, and he will say, no, now I'm okay. Later. He can buy Christmas clothes for the wife and the children and say, no, can I take on the day? They read I don't need to wear anything. Many of the men that are here, they will rather danger their lives for you to be okay. But I dare say this to all of you. Don't watch a man around you die and you are busy enjoying yourself. Don't watch a man around you. In the name of men, don't talk. Remember what I started with. When the head is aching, will the knee think on the behalf of the head? I don't see the need to tell my wife the problems and burden her. I am the head. Let my wife eat. I will eat last if there is something remaining. My wisdom to all of you ladies, and I've said this before. I think it was on social media, people were saying men should prioritize their own mental health. I said no. We do prioritize our mental health. Our mental health is us being strong for you. I don't want to buy a house because I like houses. I didn't grow up playing house. My wife grew up playing house. My wife grew up playing kitchen and feeding Barbie dolls with oh, drink your tea. We didn't play dolls. No, I grew up playing guns. I grew up playing guns. I didn't play house. I grew up playing cars. I grew up playing guns. I did not grow up playing house. So I'm not after buying a house for myself. I'm after buying guns. That's why a man will rather buy a car than a house. Left to us, buying a car is more important than houses. We don't sleep. Look, I would rather look nice in town and sleep in one room. We don't carry houses around. Oh, but a woman wants to get there. My bedroom. White sheets. The kitchen. Let's go to at home and get that set. Oh, a man doesn't care. I didn't grow up dressing some little dolls. That's why we don't even care sometimes about what we wear. How many shoes we have, it doesn't matter. But you grew up playing all of those things. For your own information, I didn't grow up playing marriage. Girls grew up knowing which wedding gown they will wear on their wedding day. We didn't grow up saying, I will wear a tuxedo on my wedding day. We were playing guns. We were playing swimming, drowning. We were playing danger. Jumping off of trees. That's what we were playing growing up. You were playing wedding gown, dressing things up. Yeah. So it's not that we are not taking care of our mental health. It's not that men don't like being pampered. See, you are the one who grew up pampering dolls and things. I don't know what pampering dolls is. So when I come as a father into a marriage institution, use what you are used to give to me. I am used to guns. I will protect you. An average man wants to ensure, baby, have you eaten? See, men will ask you those questions. Have you eaten? They take care questions. I grew up protecting. So men will be more worried that the electric fence is not working than they are that the kettle is not working. But the kettle, you need it for tea in the morning. The electric fence, who's coming to attack us? But the man is worried about security. What the man grew up with is what he's giving you. We grew up playing guns, so we are giving you security. If I see a guy trying to play around you, hey, Brayak, Reshab, Oraya, no. I want to stamp my authority, mark my territory. So since you grew up where Namedem, you grew up dressing things, then when you get into this marriage, when you bring a man in, pamper the man with the thing that he is not. Men did not play guns. So I will play a gun in your marriage and protect you. You also play the thing. You were cooking with soil when you were growing up. So when we say to you that this is what you bring to the table, your femininity, don't try to be me. Don't try to be macho like I am. Develop some strong muscles and pose like this. This 21st century women with thighs that look like men thighs. We want thighs that when we touch, they are soft and fluffy. The kind of a thigh when I touch like this, it agrees with me like jelly. Yeah. Brotherhood. Not the thigh that when I touch, it's like I'm standing next to a tire. Lean on me. When you are not strong. Hey, baby, I'll be strong for you. The day your wife says, I'll be strong for me. No. They are saying they don't want to be strong for men. Don't lose your femininity in marriage, in your life, in your workplace. Don't lose it. Be the girliest girl. Be the girl that you ought to be. I don't care what life has dished to you. Even if you are a single mother, please don't lose your femininity. No. Why are you still here? What was he here for? I called him for what? Favor. Caleb. What about Caleb? Huh? Mental health. Oh, Father, we say I'm proud of you. Oh, just go. We are proud of you. Is somebody hearing? There are 3 things that will help you, gentlemen, to heal. And you ladies as well, to stand good for your fathers. When you read that story of Jacob, there are 3 things that came out. People, places, and personality, which is identity. Jacob, in his distress, met a person. When men are wounded like this, they need people to help them. And they need a place that can assist them. We have a medical facility over there. It is empty, but there are wounded men here. These men may not be able to take themselves there, but they need people that can carry them from where they are to the place that can heal them, to the place that can change their identity. You heard the sound of that gun that shot this man. This man needs somebody that can help him and take him to the place of his healing. Nobody is going to be healed in isolation. Listen to this. Ladies, stop dating men that don't have a community. Any man who does not have men that are real with him is a danger to the society. Wow, beletsa mo koneng o le nosi ga gona pe o morang are mosadi ga treatwe yalo ga gona pe o morang are bana ga ba dire jalo. You need a man that has a community, that has men that can help him out of his wounds. You need a man that can bring your man to the church, a place of healing. You need a man that can be dragged all the way to the paintball with the other men and be taught how to treat women, how to be a leader, how to be a father. But as long as you don't have those men, you remain wounded in your own place when there is healing elsewhere. So they wrestled a man with him, and that man took him to a place, Peniel, where he met God face to face. Stop taking other men to women that they are going to cheat on their wives with. Stop taking men for soccer games only. Stop taking men for investment platforms only. Take them to places where they are going to heal. He said, I have met God face to face. Be careful of a man who does not have a community. Be careful of these lone rangers. People just never get me. I just thrive when I do alone. You don't thrive doing alone. That is one of the iconic characteristics of narcissists. They isolate you and make you to feel like we don't need the world. It is me and you against the world, baby girl. It sounds nice until they abuse you and there is nobody to say, mister, this is wrong. It sounds nice when they tell you, let's just live our life privately. I don't want our life to be public. I don't want people to know our issues. We will sort out our issues. They will isolate you from your family. They will isolate you from your siblings. They will isolate you from your friends, isolate you from your church, and make you to feel like we are building our own world. It sounds nice when all things are cozy and nice. But the day you need to cry for help, there is nobody to help you. That man doesn't listen to nobody. The strength of a man is community. When a man was alone thriving in the garden, God said it is not good for a man to be alone. Even God said it. It is not good for a man to be alone. These guys every day, baby, where are you? You are my best friend. You are the only person in my life. You are the only person that I can talk to. The day your girlfriend has angered you, who do you talk to? Where do you blow off your steam? You will blow it off on her by slapping her, by abusing her. Because there is nobody else to talk to. When we are telling your men, let's go for 5-a-side, and they don't go, you will think that you are enjoying because you are cuddling in the couch. You are cuddling problems. You are cuddling problems. When we say we are going for a men event at the farm, let's go do some paintball and all sorts, and your man is not coming, you better be very worried. Why didn't my man go? Why is he scared of community? Why is he scared of company? Because in company, other men reveal to this man what it means to be a man. One man will come and stand and talk about his emotions. And this man will be the mirror to your boyfriend, your husband. He will be the mirror to your son, to show your son that you don't have to be emotionally bottled up. Come. Who else am I calling? Come, kiss. When we got to the farm and we were talking, I said to them, this thing of you gentlemen, that you greet each other the same way all the time, show us how men greet. Not the one that we have developed. How do men greet? Come, Ray. We called a wrong uniform. The general. This is how men will greet each other from time to time. Either a handshake or a fist bump or whatever, a shoulder hug. They do a shoulder hug. No, that's not the shoulder hug. Hey, that's all they will do. What are men scared of? Now, hug your brother the way that says to your brother, I got your back, I'm proud of you. Let's go. This is the real man. Now, Rasta, when men gather and they are the true definition of men, they are going to show us where we are wrong. That you don't talk to your wife like this. You don't talk to your daughters like this. You don't talk to your sons like this. This is how you behave. When you get there and you hear one man saying, there is nothing I do my wife is not aware of. There are some men in this meeting that your wife doesn't know what you do with your money. She doesn't know. Husband deals with his money. Wife deals with her money. We just tell the man, you pay the rent. The wife buy the grocery. What remains, we don't know. You are opening doors for danger. You are opening doors for danger. So when you go where other men are and one man shows you what is working for them financially. When I'm angry at my wife, I talk to my spiritual father. I talk to my other brother that is a friend of mine, and they sort me out. That your man, that your brother, that your daughter, rather that your son will see, oh, men are doing well because of community. Two are better than one. You only use it for wedding. Two are better than one. Thank you. Any man that does not have a community is in danger, or rather is a danger to the society. You need people that can look at you and say you are wrong. When you don't come to church, they tell you, I'm coming to pick you up. Let's go to church. When you are slaking on your church commitment, they take you to places that heal you. They don't just take you to places where you drink and you womanize. They take you to places where you make money, places where you agree with each other. In our group, none of our group members will abuse their wife, will cheat on their wife. You thrive on the values and the principles that are going to build a better community. Listen to this. When you have the right people, that takes you to the right places. Number 3, it will change your personality, your identity. You will not be the liar that you have always been. You may have come this far through corruption. You may have come through this far through lying and doing wrong things. There are people and places that transforms you, that makes you proud of yourself. Jacob met a man in a place, and that man became a different man. Those men went into that tent wounded and bandaged. Now they are coming out. They are no longer wounded. They are standing strong. They may not be with the man that took them in there, but now they are well and intact. Any place you go to and you remain the way you have always been, that's a wrong place, my brother. You need a place that takes you to a platform. Rather, you need people that takes you to platforms and places that the way you make money changes, that the way you relate with people of the opposite gender changes, that the way you relate with life and with yourself changes. You begin to walk tall. You are confident in yourself, of yourself. One of my sons looked at us and said, "Nah, I'm not an educated man, but I can tell you one thing. I have the ability to spot business opportunities." He said, no matter what, how low I can get to, somehow I bounce back. I have the ability to spot opportunities. You need men like that. And he concluded by saying this statement. He said, some of you may not believe me, but as time goes on, when you see other people around me, those who will come around me, I will be spotting opportunities and will be benefiting together. You need men that encourages your prayer, that changes your identity completely, where people you grew up with look at you and say, what has happened to you? You need men that your wives and your girlfriends are free to send you to, because they know every time you come from meeting up with the guys, you are a sweet man. Oh, you are brother sweetness. Every time you come from that 5-a-side, every time you come from the games night with the men, every time you come from the farm trip with the men, you come back more loving, you come back more in touch, you come back more gentle, you come back more stronger, you come back more refreshed. Wherever your husband is going to and he comes back more grumpy, he should not go there. Let him go to a place when he comes back, he loves you the most. Because in those meetings, they will be asked, when last did you do something nice for your wife? Yeah, gentlemen, I've been busy, I forgot. It's been 3 months. I've not done anything nice for my wife. Mister, as we live here, this is what, do something for your wife. You need your husband, your man, your son needs people that will take him to places that will straighten him up, that will make you proud. You are my son. So when we call for the meetings of men, please, don't hold back to your husbands. Bring them to us. We are the right men for your men. We are the right men for your sons. We are the right men to build a community that when that community comes into your world will be a better place. And so, when we started, the men were down. Now, when the men have these 3 things, these men will be looking stronger. Yes, there are evidences that you used to, you went through some stuff, your clothes are dirty, you have some scars, but truth be told, you are no longer the same man as the man that you used to be. Ladies, you also need these 3 platforms. This doesn't just apply to the fathers. It also applies to you. Have the women that will take you to the right places. Women that will build you up in your submission. Women that will build you up economically. Not women that are gossiping about Jonas. Every time you meet, you are talking about, yo, men are narcissists, yo, men are this, yo, men are that. Not women that are gossiping other women. You need women that are economically empowered, women that will give you tips on raising your children. Praise the Lord. For some of you that your upbringing with your fathers has been terrible, you also need a place and people that will bring you healing. And church is that place. Hear my last statement. More than ever before, the challenges that are taking place in the world are showing us our need to connect with God the more in this season than ever before. The Ministry of Youth and Gender Affairs can try, but I can tell you, as long as they are rejecting the God solution, all their efforts will be vanity upon vanity. They will do workshops, team buildings, all manner. You will be surprised. The men that abuse women are the ones that are facilitating team buildings. It is a director in that department, that the one that just signed a budget for handling GBV is the very man that is the perpetrator of GBV. You know what that is like? In every good man, there is bad. And when that man does not have God, his bad is more amplified than his good. I close with this. This is our assignment. Go and win more men to Christ. You will see that the problems of the society will go down. Trust me. We have more women in the church than men. So women are more empowered. Women are more godly. But you know what's the problem with that? You live here empowered. You go to an unempowered man. You live here with an idea from God. You tell a narcissist an idea from God. He will say, well, you got it from church. This church thing is getting to your head. More men are refusing to come for counseling when their marriages are in trouble. The women want to come. The men don't want to come. So, even in soul winning, I will say this. Please, it's easier to win a woman to Christ than to win a man. But if you can win a man to Christ, you have won a community. Let's go and focus on winning men to Christ. Because the very men we have not won are the ones that are raping women. They are the ones that are committing corruption. So if we have won them, does it mean that there will be less of such things because the people that do such things are already won to the other side? Praise the Lord.